slash night ride. This time, the plan is to go down to the Big 4 Bridge, go over to the Indiana side, and go down the Ohio River Greenway some. I'm currently en route to that. There's bugs everywhere, which is to be expected when you have lights on things, but yeah, so I'm gonna ride over to the bridge, see what's going on. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday evening. Saturday evening, and it was an incredibly warm day with temperatures well into the 90s, and it's finally cooled down a little bit, so figure I'll go see what's going on. So yeah, I'll probably skip ahead to the next part, because this is all stuff that I've recorded before going on these ways. But yeah, so I'll just jump ahead to the bridge. So I may have made the wrong choice to come down here today, because I forgot that there was a soccer, or football if you prefer, match at the stadium, which has made traffic difficult. Back on the move finally. After sitting through a bunch of traffic. If I had realized that was going on, I would have went a different way. Would have went down to a different path to get here. Excuse me. Sorry. It's a bit busier than I thought it would be. Might try to set it. Alright, a little bit more clear air up here. Just gotta ride slow. It is funny that people have a tendency to bunch up. This is going to the Indiana side. Turning on some of my additional lights here. since it's kind of dark out. Get some extra lights on that helps see things. As you can clearly see, it is nighttime out, so it is dark. And on the return trip, on the way back through, it hopefully won't be as busy. Off in the distance, there is the Pedestrian Bridge that I just came across. It's lit up, it has LEDs on it. You can get a view from here of the Louisville waterfront. This is Jefferson. It's over in Indiana. Trying to kick up the pace a little bit since there's some cars behind me. Yeah, over here to the left, that is the Louisville, Kentucky skyline, if you can see any of that. I'm not sure what this GoPro does in low light, but this is the Jeffersonville side. Where they have some entertainment districts. Fish, which is a seafood restaurant. And this is Upland, which is a brewery that just opened recently. For a long time, that was Buckhead's, which was like a, I don't know, I guess kind of a general purpose restaurant. There's like a smaller chain. They had steaks, chicken, a lot of just, you know, American comfort food. They closed, I think, all of their locations except for a few that were out of state, or out of Kentucky and Indiana. Now it's Upland Brewing, which is a brewery whose beers I have had before. They're pretty good. Went there for drinks since it's opened. It was pretty good. Let me turn this light up a notch. It's interesting rolling through the section of the road where there's a bunch of police doing traffic duty. People give some second glances to this until they see you're pedaling it. Got somebody who wants to pass me, so I will go this way. Yeah, but way off in the distance, that is the skyline of downtown Louisville. This is the Ohio River Greenway. Just going to get back to the path. We'll give this a little bit of a ride through, see how it goes. could be interesting. I guess something that could be somewhat confidence boosting when you're on a bike like this that has some modest, I mean very modest off-road capabilities. If you need to, you can cut through grass and go around people and go places that cars can't. I'm not sure technically when these parks and bike paths and such close, but or if they close, I don't know. I know a lot of places had, you know, COVID rules, but Indiana kind of tossed most of those aside a while back, and then Kentucky has, as of June 11th, lifted the mask mandate and lifted capacity restrictions since the cases are way down and vaccination numbers are increasing. I don't know if they're where they want them to be, but and there are parts of Kentucky where they're probably pretty high percentages, but starting to get back to normal, and I hope it gets to stay that way. Yeah, so this bike path, so you start in Jeffersonville and it goes back through these neighborhoods, or it's an elevated path that's on like a flood wall for this section. There's parts of it where it goes through different areas, and then down there is the Falls of the Ohio Park to my left. But this goes essentially parallel to the Ohio River, and a lot of it's on an elevated flood wall, and then it cuts back through these different paths. And if you take it, you can go all the way to Clarksville, or not Clarksville, to New Albany. Make sure I don't get any bugs inside my helmet. It'll take you all the way to New Albany. Oh. Which is an increasingly popular area that has done a lot of renovations and building up over the years. So they have a lot of stuff there now. So you can go to a lot of different restaurants and bars. They have like an amphitheater area, and it's built up, looks very nice. And then the area that we're in now, Jeffersonville, the area around the Big 4 Pedestrian Bridge is built up quite a bit as well, which was basically nothing, you know, a decade ago. And now they have a bunch of restaurants and bars. They're really capitalized on having the pedestrian bridge there. You know, having this light on my helmet means that bugs are flying directly at my face. So I might rethink where I put this light. Because I think I have a handlebar mount for this. I might look into using, so that I don't have to have the bugs flying at my head. Now I'm not, like, this may be too dark to see a lot. I think these night rides are interesting, having watched other people's night rides. I need to get like a group ride to go together at nighttime. Because I've gone on a one-wheel night ride, but obviously those don't have as much range as e-bikes. And personally, like so I have the Pint, which I mostly got to use for video work, because I've seen a lot of instances of people using one-wheels doing videography and filmmaking to pull off pretty cool shots, because one of the big things, it creates a lot of shake and a lot of shakiness in your camera when you're watching stuff filmed with traditional film cameras, or not film cameras, but traditional, you know, cinema cameras, is the movement up and down. So your Z-axis is moving up and down as you walk. So if you're on something that is smooth and moves, you don't have to deal with that. So riding on the one wheel allows you to get, once you've learned how to ride it properly, and especially if you have a camera that has really good stabilization, or if you have a handheld gimbal, you're not walking, so you get rid of that Z-axis, that movement up and down, so you can get some smooth follow footage, and people have used those in a lot of different movie projects, and commercials, and music videos, and short films, etc. So I got one for that purpose. And also, it's something that, you know, it's small, you can throw it in the back seat of your car and take where you want to ride it. But to me, those are far less confidence-inspiring than a bike. Because I have the Pint, which is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit squirrely at times. In terms of, it can get a little bit loose under your feet. And I still don't have enough hours on it, enough miles to feel 100% comfortable with it in most situations. But like, I can ride it fine and not fall off. Like, I haven't fallen off of it in a while. The only really bad fall I've had off of it was the first day I had it. Since then, if anything, it's been just hopping off of it. Because at least with the Pint, it has a thinner wheel, or the wheel isn't as wide as the larger one. And if you're going on grass or gravel, to me it gets really loose and squirrely under your feet. And it has a gyroscope and stabilizer stuff in it. You're theoretically just supposed to trust the board and move, but once you start getting swirly and you can feel it losing traction under your feet, that's a little bit harder to do. So I have some more experience to gain with that before I feel 100% comfortable, because I had taken it through some different bike paths and parks, and when people are passing you and such, didn't have any incidents, but I did not feel super comfortable in that situation. So I'd like to get more experience on it before I start taking a nice expensive camera and lens setup with the gimbal. But these GoPros, because the GoPros have good stabilization, so with those, I'm not really opposed to having that in a little handheld rig while I ride the one wheel, because if I fall off, I know those will typically be fine. I have cages and protective stuff for them too, so. But I don't quite feel comfortable taking my actual cinema gear on one yet. And this is pretty dark back here. There's not really any street lights. Hopefully this headlamp combo. Yeah, so this is the Ohio River Greenway that starts relatively close to the Big 4 Pedestrian Bridge. I don't know how far I'm going to go on this because, again, it's nighttime. And it's dark. And I don't know these areas like the back of my hand. Yeah, so there's New Albany. Because I would hate to run into somebody creepy out here. Or to get too low on battery. That'd be no fun. Well, I've still got 4 bars. The Super73 S1, one thing that I don't love about it is the display for the battery meter. It only has 4 bars. and it's not always super accurate when you have it under a heavy load. So if you're going fast, full speed, it'll often show less bars than you actually have. It'll show two or three bars when you have 4. So it's not 100% accurate. Welcome to New Albany shoreline. So now we're in New Albany, Indiana. Oftentimes, the most accurate way to tell how much battery is available is to check on the battery. The battery itself has a button you push to see what the level is, and that's more accurate than the displays. As opposed to the other bikes that I have a more granular level display. They have more than 4 bars. They have at least, or they both have, the other bikes have 5. Because typically the thing you don't think about is, if you have 4 bars, it doesn't mean you have 100%. That means you have somewhere between 100 and 75%. So you could be, 78% instead of 100. That's a baby skunk. I think that's a skunk. Or maybe a mink. I think those are around here. I'm not sure what the difference is. It looked like a skunk. Now I've made this ride before during the daytime. Quite a few times. And I've done some group rides that went through here. I didn't record those, because it was also when it was chillier out. And I just didn't have to deal with having the extra stuff with me. I'm dealing with the camera and all that. See somebody on the bike up ahead. So this is one where I would maybe feel more comfortable in the future if I use my other bike. It's a little bit more powerful, a little bit more off-road capable. And also it's a little bit more attention grabbing, so I'm glad I rode this one instead with all the police presence. This is a bridge. I think that's a railroad bridge. Even though this light that I have on my helmet attracts more bugs, it does greatly improve visibility, which is a huge benefit because you don't want to run over a big chunk of a tree that's fallen on the path. On the road. Oops. I think I not sure. This is a little bit confusing. I guess not, since there are all these road signs. No, I guess this is. To having the bright light on the top of the helmet, a lot of people automatically assume it's a flashlight. I guess they may assume that it's police, so they look more cautiously towards you. This is where the amphitheater and such is. It's close to historic Main Street. If you turn right and go up that, that's very steep. I'm just riding on the road at this point because there's nobody really out here, and I don't want to get a mouthful of bugs. Oh, so I guess this is the amphitheater. So there's people up there, it appears. So you just go down to the river. There's somebody down there. Probably looking to unload the boat or something. There's a guy sleeping on the bench. I didn't notice till I pulled over here. Hopefully I did not interrupt. Then they have a skate park over here. Probably will not get in trouble for doing this. Larger bike would be better for this. My other one that has more capabilities. Yes, this bridge directly ahead above is the Sherman Mitten Bridge. And this is the end of the trail. So that is the end of the Ohio River Greenway, my trip down it. Yeah, so I guess since I'm at the end of the Greenway, I'll leave the camera on while we're recording on the way back in case anything interesting happens to include. But yeah, aside from that, that'll wrap up this night ride video across the Big 4 Bridge, the Ohio River Greenway from Jeffersonville, Indiana to New Albany, Indiana. But yeah, that'll wrap up this night ride. Until next time.